Hi, this is EZarch Podcast. This is Sean.
And this is Guido.
We're two architects in New York City that talks about design and architecture related issues. And in this episode, we're going to talk about our dream closet project again. In this episode, we're going to try to look for inspiration and from a very interesting source. We recently came upon the design for a little hotel in Japan. It's called a capsule hotel, I think.
Yeah,
And
what is that? The 9H Hotel.
right.
So what does mean 9 hours? Can
Yeah,
you
it's
explain us a
nine.
bit? Yeah.
They have an interesting concept of 9 hours, which is actually, I think, the amount of time that you're expected to stay in the hotel. But the thing that we really found interesting was the concentration on efficiencies. So we decided that we will get our inspiration from small, either I think they call it either pod hotel or capsule hotel, because I mean they're so small that you need to be very very
Right.
efficient. So we were trying to get inspiration from them. Um, there's going to be a whole bunch of rules that we were inspired by, and I think we will go through them one by one, and we will also use a different example. The first example that we found that was actually really interesting was installation of a bunch of pod hotels in Art Basel. You can see a picture of it here. Because it's so small, it's easily transportable, and it's also not a lot of things.
No, I could live there.
Right.
Yes.
And the rule, that the thing that we were inspired from is an old actual architectural saying, which is less is more. I'm sure you heard about this before. And
Yes. Definitely.
because it's so small, which means that this set of rooms could be transportable pretty easily. Actually, they say Brad Pitt bought this whole set afterward.
Is that the one on
Yeah,
the picture?
that's him in the picture,
Good for him, good.
right? So they said he might put it on his private beach or something.
Maybe he can just host all his adopted sons or family. Yeah.
I think it will make a very nice beach, camp out. So anyhow, so our first rule is less is more, and for our second rule
This,
that we were inspired from was actually a hotel in New York City. It's around Midtown, I think. It's called Pot Hotel. And do you want to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about this hotel?
That is basically what we're saying is everything should have a place. So, and if you look to the images, you would see that this is carefully designed. That it's like there is no space wasted. So, here what you see in one of the picture is like you see the shower with the toilet. So everything is together. So there is no excess in circulation. So you basically enter to the space. So you either take the shower or use the toilet, and everything is just in the minimum square footage. And that's one of the things that we like,
Right.
and we can be inspired of.
Yeah, I mean it's so small. I mean, I'm fascinated by this bathroom. There's literally not, any corridor space. There's just enough room for a toilet and then for a shower. So again, everything have a very specific place, for a very good reason, and they use a corridor inside of the room to get to each individual part. So for our third rules, we thought of is everything should have a reason to exist. We really thought of this rule when we were looking at the hotel that we started out by talking about, which is the 9-hour hotel in Japan. You're looking at we also include a video link so you could take a look at it. It's a very stylishly designed, very 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 modern, very very simplistic.
Very septic, I would say,
Right.
and cold,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a great design. But it seems
Mhm.
a little bit like
It's super minimalistic.
super minimalistic.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I mean, literally, like if you look at the design, you'll notice everything is white, and then they kind of create like very specific, clearly, like defined imagery, to tell you where everything goes. There's like a little like sign for the shoes, tells you where the shoes go. There's a graphic for showing where the reception area is on the floor, so when you walk past it, it'll tell you. Because there's so, little things, in this hotel, like the less stuff you have means that the more each item will become more prominent. So like when you don't have a lot of stuff, then you'll see, the things will jump out at you a lot more. So, keep things simple and basically, minimize the amount of things you have.
Right.
So that's our third rule.
Right.
And the same thing for the fourth rule we also thought of, which is the need to conform to your regular routine and to kind of understand what that is.
Right. And in that case, what helps is the signs.
Right.
There are signs all over.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they help you to find a way, and it makes more enjoyable experience, right? Or
Right.
at least you don't get confused.
Exactly. I
And-
mean, when
and lose some of those 9 hours, right?
Yeah.
That you need to spend to sleep. So, but anyway, those 9 hours is like 1 hour for taking the shower,
yeah,
7 hours to sleep, and 1 hour for what?
relaxation.
Relax and go.
So yeah, I mean, they really looked at what the routine is for someone who lived at the hotel, and then they designed a process that kind of let you enjoy, this process and make it as simple as possible. And the hotel really reflect that. It's like, this is general sense of efficiency and, minimalism, so
Right.
you're never confused. So we were really, really interested by this. And then we move on to our final rules, which is, I think one of my main rules, as always. We like to call simplicity but not boring, because I think a lot of time people think that having efficiency, having organization, having less is more means that you need to like kind of go for the ultra modern
Right.
design.
Or that those things are bore.
Right.
And
So-
it's not. Shouldn't be.
Yeah. Sometimes like having, especially if something that you're living with, you don't want to be like ultra modern. You want something that's a little bit more humane, something that conform more to what you like. And then the example we gave is called the James Hotel. As you can see, the few photos we're showing you, it's very like it's done in kind of this New York, traditional. I want to say Art Deco style. A little bit, very traditional. But it has a very distinct character.
Right.
The lobby, the grand lobby, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the inspiration that we found. This week we are going to utilize all of these rules in next week's Dream Closet project, where we will actually design a closet using these rules and teach you how to do it. So anyway, until next week, this is Sean.
This is Guido. Until next week, and we wait for your comments.
Right.
Or any ideas that you
Tell
wanna
us what
give
you think. So, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.